Hello today, my name is Alex and today I will be showing you how to inspect and treat a bed bug infestation. Now, when we are inspecting for bed bugs, it is always important to pull back each individual pillow, make sure we do not find them, place them on the ground. Now the next step is you're going to want to pull these sheets up. Make sure you do not see any underneath the fold. Then we are going to pull back each individual sheet to make sure we do not have any bed bugs crawling around on the linens. I'm taking my time, slowly pulling it back to make sure I don't see any. This should be done with each sheet layer. So after you strip the sheets off the bed, make sure you are putting them in a black garbage sack, then setting them in the bathtub. When doing these bed bug inspections, it is important to make sure you take a look behind the headboard too, because it is a nice dark place and easy access for them to get to their food. Always make sure you check behind that. Now, since you have your mattress and box spring up, it's a great time to look around and see if we find any exoskeletons, fecal matter, or any live bed bugs. Another place to look on the box springs are right here in these little corners. They like to hide out in there, so that's another good spot to check. Mattress, same thing. Then make sure you are checking the bed frame as well. Make sure you flip these over. Make sure we have nobody hiding underneath those. Now, once you have both beds stripped and torn apart, always make sure you are spraying the mattress on both sides and the box spring on both sides and around the edge. This forms a barrier that will help keep the bed bugs from returning back to their hiding spots. Now, when treating the mattress and box spring for bed bugs, you're going to take your bed bug chemical and then you're just going to start spraying the mattress down. Make sure you get a good coating, because this will create a barrier that lasts for about 30 days or so with this particular brand of chemical. That'll help to keep the bed bugs from coming back. Now I'm going to flip this over and treat the other side, then I will do the same with the box spring. Alright, now I'm treating the back side of the mattress also. Like I said, to get that nice barrier built up. I'm going to hit the box spring also. Then make sure you give a good dose to the back side as well, because this is where they're mainly going to hang out at. Then your next step should be, before you spray the flooring and around the light sockets, that we are unplugging everything and moving the furniture away from the wall so that way when we do the heat treatment later, the air can circulate properly. And we're going to have to unplug everything so that way when you hook up the heat treatment, it does not trip the breakers. It is also important to remove the lampshades. Due to the high heat that will be in the room, sometimes it can cause the fabric or plastic in the lampshades to shrink. So make sure you remove all lampshades and place them in the bathroom. Once I start treating the carpet, I like to start at the door and make sure I start out with spraying the perimeter first. Don't worry about the chemical leaving stains. The one I am using is pet friendly and people friendly and does not leave any stains or odors. So make sure you just give the carpet a thorough coating. Make sure we are getting around everything, nooks and crannies, anywhere the bed bugs can hide. Now, when treating, don't be afraid to treat around the plugins, because that is a way that bed bugs can escape from the heat treatment. If you spray around this, it will create a perimeter and it'll keep them in the room. A lot of people, when they do treatments, they make the mistake of not spraying around their plugins and light fixtures. It gives them a way out, then they can just come back and reinfest the room after the heat treatment is done. So this is very important to make sure we are covering all the exits. Another important aspect too, when you are treating rooms, make sure you're pulling out the drawers or leaving them open so that way the airflow can get behind there, because this makes a perfect hiding spot for any bed bugs that you may miss. Just remember, just because their name says bed bugs doesn't mean they can't live somewhere else. And just make sure you give this a treatment also, so that way they cannot come back and habitate this area. When it comes to the chairs or furniture in the room, make sure you're treating that as well. Like I said, just because their name says bed bugs doesn't mean they can't live somewhere else in the room. Now, once you have completely sprayed the room and moved all the furniture and unplugged everything, you're going to leave the room sit for a couple hours so the chemical can dry. Because if you apply heat treatment while it's still wet, the heat affects it and will make the chemical go inert. So this is important to make sure that you heat treat after the room is dried. Now, it's been a couple hours, so the chemical is dry, and I have brought in the heat equipment and I have set it up. Another thing, when you are setting up the heat equipment, make sure each drop cord goes into its own individual outlet. This helps reduce the load on the breakers, reducing the chance that you'll blow a breaker and interrupt your heat treatment, and then you'll have to start it again. Heat treatment should run roughly between 12 to 14 hours, so that way the heat can fully penetrate everything and make sure the heat kills the bed bugs. So it's very crucial to make sure you have that time to allow the equipment to run and properly heat the room. Then once you are done properly heating the room, come in, shut off the heat equipment, and then you're going to have to let the room cool down for a little bit longer after that before you remove the equipment. Now I have everything set up, and I have made sure that each fan and each drop cord is plugged into its own outlet. It helps break up the load and will not trip a breaker. And I will show you also on the heating unit itself why it's important to make sure we plug these cords in properly. Now, each side will receive 4 cords. 2 will be from your P-TECH plug-in, then the other 2 will be from regular plugins. This side does not matter as long as you have 2 of each. Now, when it comes to this side, see that green light there? It is important to make sure you hook up a dedicated drop cord to that one, because that one needs its own plug-in to run. These other ones do not. So it don't matter with the other three on what order those go in, as long as you have 2 plugins and 2 from the PTAC. Now, I have this fan set up right back here, and this will help with the airflow to push the air circularly around the room. So you have another fan set up right there to help keep pushing it around. Then over there, I have my last fan. So what that does is pushes the air in a circle around the room and helps keep the room hot to get it up to 130 degrees. That is the temperature that bed bugs die at. So it's very crucial to make sure you get to that temperature.